Okay. Um. No, I just want to cover this because I don't want this to be a conversation where only like Christian white women and then black gay men share their takes on this. Just because I feel like as kind of a neutral person here, like I am not a Christian. I'm also not a gay man. Okay, and I'm also not. Yeah, like, but what I will say is like I do understand Christianity as a religion. I also feel like I understand gay culture. And I've got to say, like, I am not a fan of Little Nas X. So this is a conversation about Little Nas X and the J Christ um video. Like, I was trying to get through like Herbie Revelis, his take on unpacking this, and I feel like he started to compare this J Christ work to Call Me by Your Name and Montero. And he was talking about how those things are different. And I, like, as a person who is like not a Little Nas X fan, okay, so like I've got to be very clear about that. Sorry, that's my light. I'm trying to be very clear about that. But like, yeah, I'm not a Little Nas X fan, but I do recall Call Me by Your Name, like what it was, kind of what it signified, and it looked like kind of imagery that was a little bit like devil worshipy, like gay sex a little bit. It was a lot. It was a lot. Like I and so like Herbie did make a point which I agree with, where he's all like, this is at the end of the day, this is a music video. This is a music video. And I will say like yes, but like also there's places that are like not music videos, especially coming from somewhere like San Francisco or like a New York or something. People really have like I don't want to say they're like occult clubs, but they definitely have like alt lifestyles that to some extent is a part of the occult and is like devil worshipping in so many ways, and those things are real. Okay, there are people who are really like Wiccans who practice actual witchcraft. Okay, or there are other people who are having like abortion ritual parties and things that are kind of like antichrist. So like maybe Little Nas X in this case has a music video, but we have to be serious about there being an actual like culture of like people who are devil worshippers who are here. Like when I was growing up, my brother had a book that was about like the Necronomicon, which is kind of like the devil's Bible. I also remember in college there was like a book about like Satan that it was like a part of our required reading. I don't know. So all of those things occupy like real space. Those things are like actual parts of society and culture. And especially we just have so little representation around, how do we say, like um black people in society. And why is it that now every time we're getting new representation of black people in society, we're getting Doja Cat doing like demonic things with a bald head and blood, and now we're getting like Little Nas X doing it too. And like these are representations of what it means to be black in society, because it's not like we have all of these other representations of people who are like quote unquote normal. So like you just have to be serious about that. Like, so people who like don't have other black people in their lives are now looking at this Little Nas X video, and like the things that he is representing, there are a lot of like younger people who are like looking up to Little Nas X, and they're going to like look at that as um like a realistic uh, position to hold in society, which I think that that's like a problem. And I think that that's a problem because like it's so extreme. But it's also like the antichrist. I don't know. I think if you maybe want a better description of like why that sort of imagery is just bluntly disrespectful to people who consider themselves Christians, you could go listen to any of the Daily Wire people react to it. Like, I feel like in a sense he made this all of this content trigger Christians, and I just think that that isn't funny. Sorry, my like mic went out again. It always does this. Yeah, it's just not funny. Not funny. Um, and whatever, we can use. Let's see if I can get it to come back. Oh, there we go. Um, I don't know. There, in the same way that there are real people in society who are homophobic, there are real people who are almost like Christian phobic, and it's really like a lifestyle choice where you're choosing to seemingly like live in a world where you're respectful to God. I think maybe in the black community specifically, like so many people have poked fun at like a traditional orthodox lifestyle that simply has to do with like God and like family and respect for life, which kind of are Christian values. And so it's just like, oh, haha, anything is open to poke fun at because this is art and this is music, and I don't really agree. I don't really agree. Like another thing, I was having a conversation with a friend yesterday, and he was pointing to this video of this artist that he likes. I think his name was like Jay Monroe or something, and he was showing me one of his videos that was about like some guy. I guess he was a criminal or he was selling drugs, and then he's now in custody, right? And it looks like he either has a choice to like tell on his friends or to take the blame. And so basically there's this like back and forth conversation about if he should take the blame or if he should just turn himself in or something like that, right? And so the whole music video goes back and forth about if he should do this or not. And I thought it was a really stupid argument because, like, after you start to trot down the path of criminality, like, it's like there's no, you've left the world of like not criminality. Like, you're kind of already down the shit list. Like, I don't see how that's a choice to make. Like, at every point, you're just making a choice between morality or immorality. Like, we do live in a world of like laws. The laws are actually clear, right? Like, so like don't sell drugs. That's not like a good thing to do. Okay, so like if you know that and then you sold the drugs and you are caught selling the drugs, then you should definitely tell on the other people who sold the drugs and like stop selling the drugs. If you are making a choice to be moral. That's the moral thing to do. The like street logic of like there's another thing, there's not. Like these aren't the whole point that there's a song that's just going back and forth talking about all this other shit. It's like the politics of immorality, which is kind of what I feel like this entire like Lil Nas X conversation is. And also, I just want to be clear: Christians aren't listening to Lil Nas X. I mean, people who like are actually like living lives of like kind of traditional morality and like how can you say, I don't want to say like all Christians because I do know that there's a lot of people who call themselves Christians but still are like, there's a way that I want to talk about this, but I just don't feel like I have the religious terminology to say what I'm trying to say and make it like make a lot of sense. But like the same people who might call themselves Christians, some of them might be like, you know, shaking ass at Beyonce concerts and be like, this is super Christian or something, or like doing other things, or like Christian strippers or something like that. Like it's just, you see how like those things don't really like align. It's like people who are seemingly like living by their values, their religious values specifically, I don't think are like actually watching the Lil Nas X video. It's other people who like are not the atheists almost, which another thing I think maybe this is a weird thing too. Some people have this idea of like atheists are then going to start to trot a line where they are like now supportive of Lil Nas X, which is also not true. Like ethical atheists exist, and I think that you can kind of be that and understand that like what Lil Nas X is like doing in this video and the other one, the Montero things too, is like not cool. Whatever. I mean, I at the end of the day, I think Herbie is right. It is a music video. It is a music video, but also religion is real for a lot of people, and the demon worshippers are also very real. Like all of those things are real. So I'm not saying that you have to make a choice, but I am saying maybe the point that I'm trying to make is like it is exhausting to be an informed atheist. Because being an informed atheist requires you to understand the position that Lil Nas X is taking, and that maybe you don't agree with that because you're trying to be respectful of people who are actually religious, while understanding specifically why religious people are offended by the imagery in the Lil Nas X video. At the same time, like, you don't have to engage with the Lil Nas X community of artists, that shit, because it's maybe you don't believe it's good music. That's a stance too. Like all of those are like just positions that you could potentially take in society. I don't know. It's up to you. I just kind of wanted to throw my little 2 cents in because I did see a lot of people talking about that, and I just feel like my opinion isn't. I wanted to make space for my opinion. That's the point here. Yeah.